Hello, you guys. This is a Talk with Miss Aries, also known as the Pretty Coach. I am going to have on the hat of the Pretty Coach right now. I used to do something many years ago, like maybe back in 2017. I started recording these videos and vlogs that I later made into like a course about something. So I'm starting that back up. And the thought that crossed my mind before coming on to record this video was talking about shadow work. And I just want to say that what I'm about to talk about, what I'm calling shadow work, that's my perception of shadow work, and it could look different to others who you may come across. So this is very raw, and this is intuitively guided, which just is a big word for saying I'm flowing according to the thoughts that populate in my head that I feel are in alignment with this topic. So here we go. Shadow work for me has been these conversations that I am left to have with myself. I am forced to have them with myself. They are conversations where they could be inspired by conversations that I've had with other people who are my mirrors, maybe, or who are my teachers. But at the end of the day, when I am alone with my own thoughts, shadow work can begin. And I would say that it's possible for the same for you guys who come across this video. So there are thoughts that are both positive and negative that happen in shadow work. For example, and I use this in my confidence class, when I was being bullied, called ugly, and all these other types of things at school, that was one portion of conversation that was happening in regards to the way that I looked. Then I also had my own parents. I had my own parents speaking words of affirmation over me every day. My parents, I don't think, knew, that I was being bullied, but my father constantly told me how naturally beautiful I am, and so did my mom. So that happened like every day for us. All the girls, the sons, everybody got told that they look nice and da 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 da. It wasn't something that really had to be thought of. It just happened. And every time my parents would look at us and be like, you guys are so cute or whatever, it was just planting these seeds of confidence. So when I went to school and other people are telling me that I am funny looking and, not cute, there was this battle that would happen, right, in my mind. But I chose, okay, the first thing that I had to sit with myself, which usually I do this in a mirror. I did this in a mirror. I would be having these conversations and saying things that I wish I had have told these people while the things were happening. But how can you prepare for stuff like that if you've never experienced it? So it was after I experienced it that I began to go home and counteract those attacks, if you will, on my mind in the mirror. So not only was I armed with what my parents would say about me, I went deeper. And all the things that the people would say were ugly about me, or even these things that I may have thought, in comparison to my own siblings or in comparison to my friends, were, I wish this was different, or I wish that was different, or I had this or that in me, I would counter those thoughts as well. And I would choose to, let me explain what I mean. I didn't act like I did not have the other thoughts. Like, for example, oh, I wish that my eyes were shaped a different way. I had those thoughts. I felt the feelings for real that came with those thoughts. I didn't try to pretend like they weren't there, right? That's a part of shadow work. Shadow work are the things that are hidden sometimes from us, by us, or maybe by, our higher self, which is still us, because maybe it's not time for us to tackle them yet, or it's too traumatic. And sometimes it's those things that we hide, that we don't want to deal with, that we don't want to acknowledge exist within us. And that's the reason why they remain a shadow. So with that being said, to me, part of what shadow work is about is bringing those things into the light of your knowledge, acknowledging the feelings that surround any particular thing, and then learning to either integrate it or annihilate it. So I honestly I'm hearing too that when you integrate it, that's how you annihilate it. And let me explain what I mean. So in the case of maybe me saying that I wish my eyes were a different shape, there are times that I've cried about that, like, just examining my own self and what I think is beautiful based upon my own thoughts, the thoughts from others, comparing myself, all that. I had to cry. I had to feel those feelings of like, oh, I'm so ugly. I had to go into that, lean into those for real, feel that way for real about myself. And then the other thoughts came in and loved on that thought. And in loving on that thought and choosing to say, okay, your eyes are beautiful. They give way to your cheekbones, and they're very alluring naturally. Whatever thoughts came to my mind that praised this thing that I was just denigrating, that was the love I showed. That was the light that was lavished upon that particular dark space. And I brought that into myself. And from there, I had to acknowledge, right, that at one time I wasn't okay, and that I didn't think that this was cute, and that I didn't like this. But now I'm at a place where I am totally accepting, where I am in love with the shape of my eyes, where I enjoy, okay, showing them off, whatever the case may be. This is an example to me of integration, and that love, that's what annihilated. And it's not like it's gone as in I have forgotten about it. It's the fact that I still remember the feelings, the very, very real feelings I had there. But that is no longer the powerful feelings, if that makes sense. Those aren't the powerful thoughts anymore. So that concludes this portion of shadow work to me. I did want to go a little deeper, but my daughter has just awakened, and I want to go and make sure that I tend to her. So this is going to either be an introductory portion, or it's going to be mixed up in here somewhere. All right. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony, first within ourselves and then within our world. Bye.